Well,
more than what I spent on the car. So there's a lot of you asking how much it cost to build my pond out there.
how much did it cost to build my koi pond? Let's find out.
Over £6 worth of stuff in this one room. This is like the best level of filtering a koi pond. Like £250 of plastic just moving around inside of there. All of the fence was redone. The filter house, but all of the electrics as well. I don't know if I said about that. £4,240. That was just one bill. Because it was my dream, something that I always wanted. That there was another £600 for that. Some people think that I'm a right masturbator. Showers, these are the two showers that I was talking about earlier on. The glass window, that there was another big expense. Let's just say I didn't get any change out of it. Make sure you got a big bank balance or a decent overdraft. Crazy. But I've got a total figure for you anyway.
How much did it cost to build my koi pond? Let's find out.
Right then guys, so might get in trouble for doing this video, only by the wife, but it's about time I told you how much my koi pond cost to build and what it involved. Right then ladies and gents, so there's a lot of you asking how much it cost to build my pond out there. Right then, so I spent the last couple of hours talking through all this for you guys, so I hope it's appreciated. Something that I was always planning to do, but I never got around to it. So what involves building a koi pond? How much work have you got to do to build a koi pond? What sort of koi pond are you looking to build? That's completely down to each individual, how much money that you're willing to spend. One thing I will say before I get involved in all of this, what I did spend was double than what my budget was. I found a few problems along the way as well, so that there put the budget up a hell of a lot. It surprised me really. There's a few things that surprised me along the way, things that I didn't think would cost as much, but it ended up costing 3 or 4 times more than what I even worked out on paperwork. Pipe fittings were the biggest thing that I didn't calculate for properly. I mean, just those ball valves, 4-inch ball valve for what I used. I had 3 of them. They were over £100 a piece. So Coastal Koi, where I got not all of my pipe fittings from, but 90% of them from. I had one bill at £522 and one bill at £106, and that's not even any pipe work, that's just pipe fittings. So my bottom drains, I'll go through and show you all properly, but real quickly. So my bottom drains, my skimmer, that there was another bill, £500 for J&BR Plastics. Burton's Aquatics, so the drum filter, the biofilter, all of the media, I'll get that right up to you. £4,240. That was just one bill, absolutely crazy. That was just for the filtration. That there's without the showers. I got the showers from my koi dealer, stainless steel showers, $895 each. Absolutely crazy. That one. All my shower media, what went inside of the shower, 10 boxes at £150 a box. I mean, crazy. How much do you think I spent? Write it down in the comment section now.
Guys, so this is the pond in question. This is what I worked day in, day out with last year. I really enjoyed building it, to be fair. And the money side of things, I didn't really worry too much because it was my dream, something that I always wanted. I just thought I'm just going to crack on with it and get it done. Price of building materials went through the roof. There was a shortage on loads of bits and pieces here and there. Timber, price of timber went through the roof. But I managed to get it done in the end. And I did take it to the extreme. I mean, I didn't just build just the pond. I completely revamped the garden. I stripped the old pond back to absolutely bare. Took it completely away. Ripped down the back walls. I've got a video of pretty much everything that I've done along the way. I was doing weekly videos last year and a lot of you guys have already seen them. I had a load of support last year. I spent over £3,000 down my builder's merchant on bits and pieces and material, and absolutely crazy, to be fair with you. But at the time I needed it, and if you need it, you need to crack on. I had an extra £1,500 bill that I didn't expect to have, to be fair with you. I had to fit a soakaway right at the back of the garden. Long story short, a drain down the back here, which down underneath here, when I dug out the pond, I found an old soakaway, and it was no good really. It was not fit enough. So along the build I had to replace that re-drain it all the way around the back, fit it down the back of the garden. And I was quite lucky really. I'm a butcher by trade, but everything I've done in the back garden, I've done it all myself. You know, a few friends coming out here and there. Some of my mates in the trade, certain things. I had my electrician, one of my mate, come over and done me a good price. Basically charged me for the price of materials. My mate on YouTube, the fiberglass man, come over. He done me a good price. We had a good chat, a good weekend. Tried my best to get as much done as I could possibly. Wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but I'm glad I'd done it. Anyone thinking about building a pond, crack on and do it, because once you've done it, you'll be more than happy with yourself. One thing that did happen though, I lost about 20 kilos when I was building this pond. I was working day in, day out, and a lot of you know where I live, getting materials to the garden was the hardest job that I had. Definitely weigh up that if you're thinking about building a pond. I had a right job of that. The only access I got is either straight through the house or all the way up the hill and all the way back down the hill. So I brought in 600 breeze blocks over. God knows how much cement, God knows how much aggregate, sand. I put all the foundations down myself. There's some extra bills, what I've got to tell you as well, that I didn't really account for. The skips, getting rid of all of the materials, getting rid of all of the mud and the earth and the crap from the old pond. That there was, I well underestimated that. Anyone thinking about putting a spade to the ground, you take out one shovelful of mud, it ends up 5 or 6 time it goes in the bag. It's just crazy. You think of a small hole, you think, where does the earth keep coming from? Me not really knowing how much earth I was going to get rid of, knowing how much earth that I had to come out of the ground. What I should have done if I had a bigger garden, I should have probably got a grab lorry, would have been cheaper than the way I'd done it with the skips. My skips was well over £2,000. That being said, you got to do what you got to do. So yeah, moving into the filter house, there is several different ways of filtration, of filtering a koi pond, different ways you can do things. But I chose the drum system, the drum filter way. I chose 2 bottom drains. I chose the skimmer option. Certain things that you can pick, and you don't have to go drum if you're building a pond. This is like the best level of filtering a koi pond that you can get, to be fair. The next one down, I would say, is probably go down the Nexus route. I can only say how I feel about the way a drum system works. It all depends how you set your pond up to make sure it's working properly, I suppose. That's all involved in it. But a single drum straight to a big bio unit, I'd think is probably one of the best options that you can go these days, if it fits into your budget. I mean, there's 200 litres of plastic in there, believe it or not. You know, that's like £250 of plastic just moving around inside of there. Not everyone can afford that, and I can, you know, account for that. But each to your own. It depends what you want to do. You don't have to do this. This was my dream pond. My old pond never cost nowhere near as much as this. I had done the whole pond for less than £1,000, I think it was. But this pond's crazy money. But you get out of life what you get out of it. So going back to it, like I was saying about pipe fittings and ball valves and bits and pieces like that, these ball valves were £100 a pop. You know, the bills I showed you, I mean, just to turn a corner inside of the filter house to go from there in around to connect that back up is 30, 60, 90, 120 quid just to make that little turn. Because ideally, it would have been nice if it went straight into there. Wish I had that customised there when I did it, but that being said, it's a whole nother story. Things like this into the ground. This was the sump, takes away all the dirty water with the pump inside of there, with the alarm system that I got on it. I mean, that there was £800 for that. That was £300 for that pump. That was another £300 for that pump down there. So, you know, you can spend what you want to on a koi pond, and for some people's ponds, this is not even half budget compared to what some people's ponds are. But for me, it was my dream. This little item here was £250. Absolutely crazy, criminal price, but I got it in the end. Laying down all the extra things like the gully drain underneath, which leads down to there. All of the electrics that I had fitted. I mean, all of this is, everything's on its own trip out here. Certain things, all of the extra concrete. There's 3.5 ton of concrete, which I'm stood on right now.
with just the foundation for the filter base, without the foundation for the pond. Crazy how much it all costs, but you get what you want out of building a pond, don't you? Down to a point, and I'm more than happy with the finished results. But definitely, you know, consider how much extra things cost and what extra you still got to do after you've done everything. I can still do more now to this setup, and I'm still going to. But for a start with, just inside of this one room, having this, and having what you see, there's over 6 grand's worth of stuff in this one room, which is crazy. That's more than what I spent on the car, and the wife ain't happy about it, but I got what I wanted. So all of the fence was redone, all of the filter race was redone. I had my mate come over, we done a good weekend on it, and then I've done all the cladding myself afterwards. I had my other mate put a rubber roof on the pond for me. That there was another £600 for that. Obviously the price of the OSB on top of the roof. Actually I used ply on top of the roof, 18mm ply. There was 8 sheets of that. That there was a hell of a lot of money, but 'tis what it is, isn't it? You know, I had to have it, so I got it. The glass window, that there was another big expense. That was £360 for that window. But it is a 5-foot window. I'm so glad I put it in. All the coping stones around the top of the pond, that was another £250. All of the koi that I already had in place from the old pond anyway, so that there was lucky. The rendering on the side of the pond, on the side of the wall there, behind the back of the filter house. Inside of the filter house, I had my cousin come over. He charged me a couple beers and a steak and got me the materials at cost price. So happy days for that. And like I said, you just got to make do, ain't you, down to a point. All of these extra tiles I put down here, that was another 50 odd quid. It all adds up, but it kept me busy last year, and I really enjoyed doing it. And I've got a few projects to do this year. All of the fiberglass in, I had done by GRP Lining Services. That was over £2,000. Showers, these are the 2 showers that I was talking about earlier on, the Japanese auto feeder, that was 300 quid. But things like your ball valves, that's where you get your money, adds up to the pond. Crazy. But I've got a total figure for you anyway. Let's go back inside because it's a bit nippy out here today, and we'll run down. But all of the electrics as well, I don't know if I said about that. All underneath, all easy to get to. Like I said, anyone that wants to have a look at the pictures, as soon as I put the lights on, look, the fish think they're getting fed. But yeah, anyone wants to have a flip back, literally, if you want to know how I done my electrics, there's a video of how I did that. There's a video of how I put my camera up. There's a video of how I put these in place. There's a video of how I cemented the bottom drains in. There's a whole video of how I put the window in, how I done the fiberglass in, how I built that, how I done that. There's a video on everything, step the way, from digging the hole to the whole lot. So if you want to have a look back on the channel. It might help you, might give you a few ideas. But definitely make sure you've got a big bank balance or a decent overdraft. One of the two, because you're going to need it. So that being said, some people think that I'm a right masturbator, but I like me carp fishing, so I'm always playing with me tackle. That's just how it is, alright? That's just how it is. Look, let's carry on with this video. I need to have a slurp because I'm getting a bit dehydrated. Masturbator. So yeah, I'll be completely honest with you. I did have a little bit of help by my mates, and I did have the fiberglassing done professionally, but everything else was all done by myself, laying every single block by hand, bringing in every single mix, weighing up every single batch of cement I put into the foundation. I've done it all myself. Never done it before, but I had a good crack, and yeah, that saved me a hell of a lot of money, to be fair. A hell of a lot of money. I mean, if I was to pay for someone to do what I've done here myself, in the conditions of getting materials round, the labour intensive job of how hard it was to get the materials out of the garden, the endless weeks in, weeks out, my family did help a hell of a lot. My 2 boys, my wife definitely helped out. But even still, that being said, let's just say I didn't get any change out of £20,000 to build this pond. But I got it done, and I've done it myself. So yeah, while we're here, guys, I just want to say one more time, a massive thank you for the support that you gave me last year. I hope you can continue to give me the support again this year. A lot of you know I make YouTube videos. I get paid by YouTube revenue, by ads, like any other YouTuber out there that got an advert on their video. Well, I invest every single penny of mine back into this channel, and that's what managed to get my pond. It didn't pay for my whole pond. The YouTube didn't pay for the whole 20 grand that I spent, but it definitely helped. And I can't say thank you enough, guys, because without you guys watching the videos, without you supporting me week in, week out, there's certain items, especially like that drum filter that I put on the pond, that I wouldn't have been able to afford if I didn't make the videos every single week. And it's why I continue to make these videos, because it helps pay for my hobby, and I like making the videos. It's part of my hobby that I enjoy doing myself as well. So if you're thinking about starting up a YouTube channel and you're into koi, you're into building ponds, don't matter what you're into, whatever hobby you're into, start it up, get 1,000 subs, get yourself 4,000 watched hours, and then you can start earning money off of YouTube like anyone else can. That being said, thank you very much, guys. Loads and loads of love. Thank you, and see you soon. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.